day 5 for our Selenium developer training. So what is it that we did so far and what is it that we plan to do in today's session? Definitely want to get to some Q&A, talk about where each of us are. We've done about 4 sessions, very interesting, small movement. Good time to start your practice, team. All right. And I want you to all get on to Eclipse as soon as possible. Quick peek at what we did in the last few days, team. And this is more of the introduction towards where we're getting to. Day 1, most of Selenium IDE, how do we write simple manual test cases? Day 2, we spent time on identifying what all are the components in IDE. We know a little bit more about how to maybe record run tests. And then we spoke about XPaths at length. How is it that we could expand these into the real world scenarios? How do we write XPaths? What are the different kind of applications that will require what frameworks we have to get to, team? But for any application, identification of the element becomes key. And once you master that, commands and what to do with it is not that challenging. We also had that big picture on where we are on Selenium IDE, WebDriver, Grid, and how do we go about. I was re-listening to my lecture and I said something about cloud and Grid. Grid is basically distributed network execution of the test team. It could be on a network anywhere that you all have access to is to be able to ping to that specific machine. All right, sorry, I was loud. Then we spoke about ERA. We spoke about how to get Eclipse set up on your system, how to get your Java rightly installed, and start writing a first simple test. We haven't yet touched anything to do with WebDriver, team. We haven't even gone to JUnit and Java yet, but that is what we plan to do from today onwards. Okay. Why do we require JUnit? How do we work with it? We're going to look at it very simple. And then we will do Selenium WebDriver commands. Most part of it, we will try as much as we can today. Otherwise, it will continue to Monday. Now, for quick questions, team, that I've been getting over a period of time, and I want to be able to put them here. If you have any more question like that, then let me know. I got one question about the Selenium live project and the NDA. Okay. So one team, you have to join the Skype group. Okay. Two, okay. Before that, write to lena.m@verkasa.com for the NDA document. It's a non-disclosure agreement that you sign and send. Only then you'll work on be able to join the group. So that's about the Selenium Live project, team. And please, team, you have 2 people, 3 people that I'll give you access to, Pawan, Lena, and so on. From day 6, I want you to be able to reach out directly to them. They are on Skype. I want you to interact with them on Skype and ask them questions. And looks like there's one gentleman, Davidson, you're unable to see the screen, but everyone else in this audience is able to. So can you please kindly check it to your end? All right. There are a couple of more questions, team. I want to take it as is, this one, and be able to answer this. Always afraid of manual testing interview questions. How can I overcome this? So any fear, team, primarily, let's go and face it. That is what it is. So I don't think we are afraid of manual testing. We are afraid of being interviewed on it. So when people question us, there are only 2 things, team. Either I know it or I'm sorry, either I know it and I'm confident, or I do not know and I cannot fool around it. Right. So there's nothing for us to, if you're going into an interview and if you're getting afraid, that means that interview was never meant to be yours, in the sense you've never prepared for it. You felt, okay, this is not what, but let's try it out types. Your job, your preparations, your training, your skill must be in line with the interview team. So the only way for this is do more project work, talk and present more project work. I have nothing else to say, team. It is as simple as that. I am in fact short-handed for good resources who can be reliable and do lot of testing activities. mobile application testing, Selenium, manual testing. So much we're doing on security and performance testings. Now it is up to you how you take it up, team. And for those of you who've been, you've noticing that slowly I'm getting you involved into activities and will constantly keep getting you into the new zones. But the only way you can master anything in interview, you have to do more project work and talk and present more project work. All right. And just to also, there was the other question on the what are the packages that we have with IT Learn. I want to simplify it, team, so you get an idea. If you go to our website and the pricing page right now, I don't think you will see a lot of things there, which is you'll see the old pricing, team. But the new structure is very simple. It's got 4 levels, team. Okay, and access, and then about is there access. What else did I want to write? Um, ah, fee. All right. So if I really want to talk about what we're doing, there are 4 levels, team. And that's exactly what I've been showing in these earlier documents as well. The first level is very simple. It is the QA and NEOT certified tester. So great for beginners, okay, manual testing and so on. And this is absolutely free. This is lifetime access. And the course fee for this, I'm not charging anything, team. So there are plenty of content where you can get involved. The next one becomes the key in today's market. Team, earlier, I don't know how the QA engineers who've been working for the last 10 years feel, but earlier QA was a specific area field, all right? Then came a lot of non-IT people said, I want to enter this fancy world of IT with good paychecks. How do we get in? QA and BA were the good entry points, and they entered there. And then they realized manual testing not enough. So development activities started on automation frameworks and so on. And then developers started getting involved. So developers now who are struggling to find a regular development job are easily moving into QA team and taking up all the automation jobs. So your core capability is not just about writing tests, how good are you at it, and so on. Yes, the aesthetics, how you organize and how you go about flamboyantly as an awesome QA star will come up in your first level team. Selenium development or Selenium developer training is the key from my perspective. The reason is if you just do any of the above ones and stay here, there's plenty of competition in the market and we'll really get eaten on it, team. So I want you to definitely realize the fact that this is the only way to go, team, for you Selenium development. And this does include frameworks. This does include coding, okay, and everything that you want to do with automations. The challenge that you will face is, am I capable or not? And that is not at all a question for you anymore, team. I've been doing this for a decade plus. I know how to teach coding. That is sufficient for us to become very good Selenium developer. And you have access to these courses for 3 months. This is both live plus videos. Oh, I cannot attend live. I only want video. Does not matter from our perspective. It is the same thing. The course fee for the starting one that we have is $500. Now, as part of this, you have access to Java, JUnit, TestNG, all the Selenium tutorials end to end. The next level that we have, team, is your SDET. And team, if you do not know SDET, what is it? Then you will have to work harder to see what is happening in the QA industry. SDET is, what is it, team? Can everyone put it in the chat? Take a minute and type it. I want to see who all are typing the right meaning of SDET. Take a minute and type it in, please. The next one that I have is SDET, and here comes a lot of things to do with DevOps integrations, CI/CD. How do we do anything with a little bit of cloud? AWS. All of these things is very important, team. It will also include projects, because none of what you see, team, are you trying to put in for SDET? What is it? I only got 3 responses for what is SDET. Um, I will answer all these questions also, team. Where, and in fact, all the videos are also there. Just guessing. Okay, no problem. Guessing is fine too. Selenium development environment testing. Someone tried really to break it down into something different, but that is a good one. It's Selenium, nice keyword. Development environment, yeah, QA environment testing, fabulous. Yeah, it's actually software development engineer in test. That's the right word, team. Remember this, okay? It's a software development engineer who's moved into testing. They know software development. So that is the role. They know the entire build cycle, how the application is going through one release after the other, how the deployment happens. They have a very good control on it. Now they're saying, you know what? I can also talk about what test to run, and I can write Selenium code. Let me try this. That will take a lot of effort and time. It can only happen with you involving into a lot of project works with us. So I'm not including any project works here, team. I'm also not including any project work here, because a Selenium project work will be write the script, and so on. We will do a lot of those in practice assignments. Your SDET is the next level training, which is the $1,000 package. JPACT is very easy to understand. What does it do? Job placement and certified training. Team, very simple. I want to focus on resume individually. A lot of people have been trying to prepare resume, whatever shape it is, that is what it is. It is job hunt. How do we hunt for your jobs? Either through our incorporation or through everything else. Access to multiple live projects, because you may not be able to go to the market with just one project experience. You may need 3 4 exposed projects that you've been working. You need to spend an year, team, to be able to build such kind of a portfolio. You have access to a year for the entire live plus video, and this is come down to $1,500. This is the fee structure, team, that is going to be very standard. Now, any live project, you have to be into SDET member. In this, you have not only Selenium, but you'll also have manual testing, mobile app testing, performance, security. We're doing a lot of UI testing as well, team. You will be able to get access to all the live projects in here. Selenium developer training per se itself is going to focus on building your coding. How do we do coding? How do we do automation? Now, there could be specific questions. This includes what are the specific course contents in a team we've listed, but let us say where will HP, ALM, and QTP come? Sure, I can add things like UFT here. I could also add ALM here. That is not a problem, team. All right, into the Selenium portion where you get access to see the other things. Maybe you also want to learn C sharp. Okay, if I have good videos on Python or C sharp, absolutely no problem. But for me, it has become tough and almost impossible to maintain members on 45, 50 courses, team. That is the chaos that we're going through. Each of them is a course individually given access to 9,000 plus members. And now what is happening is just very short staffed. It was very disorganized. I'm going to sit down and organize everything on this team. As of now, not very happy with what I see. We will be working on this page. I will improve it. I don't have anything for this lifetime access. This is one more thing I will put, team. I don't have immediately. Reduce the font size. Okay, okay, okay. There you go. Lifetime access. Lifetime video access. Team, let me be very honest. Um, we spend a lot of infrastructure cost on video hosting. Our videos are hosted in a very private network that is, of course, on AWS. And it is per use access. So whenever you watch a video, there are a few cents that are going out of our account. All right. So these videos are hosted and they're private, and hence there is cost involved, team. We tried lifetime access last year, and a lot of members got into it, team. The challenge is to be able to continue this forever and be able to provide constant access. Um, I don't have a price yet for it, but I will put this also. Now, if JPAC members are there, if they want to have lifetime access to what we're doing, what do I mean by lifetime access, team? I don't think any of us may look for 10 years, 15 years. Beyond that, things will be changing to what we're doing, right? But then getting students back from 2008 and 9 who just learned QTP and are upgrading to that. So there is benefit, but definitely JPAC members, you're very close to it. So it'll be an easy thing for you. This is how I want to structure teams. When you come into the website, I want you to be able to choose one of these courses, attend live or videos, get through these programs. And that is where I believe we differentiate from Udemy or others, where we can focus with you and work on these specific programs. Team, any questions on what we discussed so far? I'm going to pause the recording also for a couple of minutes, take a couple of questions, and then get into the topic, please. There was one question on where do we see access to the videos. Team, very simple. Go to itelearn.com. That's the first thing. Second, you can go to youtube.com/qtpelearn. All right. In itelearn, under the online courses, you have right at the top, click towards Selenium live training videos. All right. This was the QA and NEOT certified tester training that I did, the free training earlier. Those videos are out here. So if you go here, you'll find all the videos so far. Today's video, by evening, it'll come onto the same page. All right. And team, here is where it is very important for you to once again understand between spoon feeding and becoming a professional. You look at any IT team in today's world, team, even anywhere, even the remotest of operating centers, there is no spoon feeding, team. You do it or not. Be very, very aggressive. If you are not finding it, maybe our fault, but I don't want you to get suffered because of it, team. Explore, see what is happening. Out here, you have the current batch videos. These are just the initial introductions. Then we have the Selenium live training, day 1 to 4. All the day 5 onwards will be put here. Day 5 also will be put on YouTube and shared here in the playlist. See, some of the members called me and said, I see only 2 videos here. See, that is where I say, please look at some wordings, read through at least websites that you've paid for. Okay, this is where you help yourself. Sure, you can be like, hey, I can't find it. You can log off, or you can write an email and say, I tried, I'm sorry. You've not tried enough, team. It is for you to lose. Okay, it is absolutely for you to gain. There are 2 videos here in the playlist. Can you see 1 and 2? And it at least, just look at it here. There, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will, this is the current one here. It will come. Then will come the other chapters, which you will not have access to unless you log in. All right. So some of these, all this will take effect by Monday, team. You have the Selenium homepage, online courses Selenium, or click here, go there. You will start seeing all the training activities that we have. Selenium live training, what all do we have? Projects, all that we were doing over a period of time. Everything, all access is provided for every specific training team. If you're a member, you log into any of these trainings and you can start watching them. All right. Now, what happened here? These webinars that we do on are always recorded, and that's how we host it, team. So for any access, you need to be logged into it, and that becomes very important. So I'm just going to quickly log in as one of the users. If any further questions, please put them. I would love to answer before we get going into the chapters. Okay. So team, I've logged in and I'm going to go back to the same program. And what you were seeing earlier were hidden content, and now you see it opened up with all the sessions out here. All right. So your ALM trainings that were recently being done are put out here, team. Okay. Similarly, you can go back to the previous ALM webinars and look at what were done in the previous webinars. All access is provided for members. Now, videos will get updated, will get uploaded. You have them all present out here, team. Okay. Pavan, can you check where are all the videos for ALM? I don't see it myself here in the playlist. The ones Shankar has been doing. There's one here, 11.5. I was just looking at team. These are the old versions. Check and let me know, Pavan. I'm not sure myself. I have never watched ALM2. But you have all the courses out here, team. A lot of these courses could be very applicable to you in the world of software testing. Okay. As you see, that's a good stack to keep having. I think 2 or 3 are not completely available, team, I would say, end to end, but a lot of them are. Okay, great. Now let me see if there are any questions. I'm going to give it a minute and see if there are any questions. That. So team, starting from the beginning, there was a question about NDA, and Anthony or someone had an issue with registering and getting confirmation email. Team, something is definitely not correct. I don't know if it is a GoToWebinar problem or lead pages or something that is happening with the systems overall. We're taking some time this weekend to relook into it. Hopefully, webinars and all will get linked correctly. But yes, so there's that one action. Let me take it down so we won't forget that. Schedule registration issues. New go. So anyway, we need a new GoToWebinar link for the confirm members. In that, I will ensure that it is their team. So I'm going to create that webinar team for Monday. This will be on the new webinar. Choose a webinar. I'm going to take Selenium live training. Okay, yes. SLT November 2018. I think premium classes. And everything else is almost the same. Schedule, not Friday, from Monday 8:30, 6:30, Tuesday. Yep. Oh, perfect. All the way till 14th. Nice. Okay. English schedule. So I've put the schedule team and I'm going to share it with the participants. So once you register onto it, I would be able to approve and get you going. Okay. There are 2-3 more questions. I want to quickly take them. Will you please explain about DevOps? Sure, Swati. Right now it will be too early, but as we go along, maybe towards end of the Selenium training, as we get into page object model and all that, we will definitely touch upon it. From a primary perspective, once your whole code build is ready, how do we deployment your entire release cycle, how those complete operations of activities till it goes into live production is being handled in that team. So we will definitely touch on that towards when we get to hybrid framework and page object model. How do we do projects with you? When you say do lot of projects, sure. So Sirisha, my organization name is Varkasa Inc. What we do is training, and we have our home built Eniot tool, which is on Selenium and a lot of frameworks, Java. And we have a consulting that we do. So due to this, we get a lot of project activities that require right from crowd testing to focused automation framework development. What I do is I put them all into my Skype group and we all discuss in that. And there are multiple projects that we have access to. Projects is a lot to talk about, team. I will introduce you more to it. Let me talk about a few more questions that came about. Did I answer your question, Sirisha? And doing a lot of projects is right now, for example, there are about 35 of us in the Selenium live project. There are about 10 in the mobile app testing. There'll be 15, 20 in the new live project starting next week. Team, just letting you know, I'm starting a new Java live project next week. This is a need for me. Project, and this is total pure coding from zero. I will be doing, showing, and you'll be helping and assisting. Even if you're absolutely layman, it'll be great just to watch it, team. This I'm planning to start somewhere around maybe ding 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 7th. By 10th will be too late for me. At least around the 10th December. This is going to be exciting, team. I'm really looking forward for this. So we will do it in an extremely organized fashion. So that way, uh, you will, I'm sure, I know already all the JPAC members, the Selenium live training current members who are going to be learning coding. You will love to be part of this program. The next question that I have is, since we haven't discussed on UID, would it be excluded in any OAuth certification? So team, any OAuth certification, we will do it next week. From any OAuth certification, team, I definitely want to tell you what all I'm expecting. All right. One is that involved in the current Selenium live project. That is as simple as it is, team. If you're involved in the project that I'm showing that is going on right now, you're very good at any OAuth. That's what I would look at. Okay. Simple as this. And then certification test will be based on activities being done in the Selenium live project that we have. Okay. I don't know how many of you are the first timers, and I just want to make sure that you all are connected accordingly, team. We have, this is the group right now, 33 past participants, all of us. Oops, I was about to put and I didn't put this message, are working on it. So if you're comfortable with what is happening here, you're good for certification. This is pure AnyAuth, team. AnyAuth, what is AnyAuth and all that? Go to anyauth.com. Please take a look at our website there. It'll talk about what we do. It'll give you an overview. There's a quick short demo for you as well. All right. What else do we have? Questions. A lot of questions are going on today, team. We'll get to the subject also very quickly now. Do we discuss about any interview questions during the course relevant to the topics that we discuss? Sure. So let's say Selenium ID we were talking about so far, correct? If there are any technical questions or interview questions, let's say we are in day 15, up to day 15, no problem, team. Let's not bring something out. Like, for example, someone asked on DevOps, we may not be able to address. Let's pick up anything, be it an interview question and so on. We can talk about it during the classes. But I want really the JPAC members to be active, team, where share your resume, start interacting one-on-one on that. I just got 2 of you that I'm scheduling for tomorrow. Demo interviews, mock interviews with me. I've seen the resume, a lot of inputs and feedbacks. Right from there, I'll start giving. So don't focus on interview questions in training, bring it up, but focus more on conceptual questions, practical. Okay. One more question. I'm already registered for the Selenium live project, but I'm not getting information how to join it. Now, I don't know how else to provide information, team. Really, I have no clue. And it has come to a stage where I have stopped believing that we are not doing what we can. If you're following us, you will not miss any communication. Is that clear, audience? I'll ask you only a few questions. Number 1, are you on itlearn.com? Number 2, are you on our YouTube channel registered? Number 3, do you get our emails? Number 4, do you go to itlearn.com and have you got the mobile app onto your machine for Google Play or iOS? Can you please help yourself till this extent and I'll take you from there? And if there are any questions, write an email to us. Okay, we will get back within 24 hours. We've been working on fixing it. But constantly when I hear messages like, I have registered, but I didn't get any communication, I am not going to spoon feed you, team. You remember that very well. IT industry is not about spoon feeding. Do not waste your money thinking that Karthik will sit one by one beside you and do it. It is a program. Everyone must learn the right way. Now see, I get IT email not working. Anthony, please forward that email. What is it that you are saying? Again, the same questions we ask. I don't know how I will help team. IT learn email not working. What does it mean, team? Can someone help me? Please. This is very frustrating the way I get questions sometimes. When is the next live Selenium session starting? Maybe towards end of December. I'm both JPAC and ITL member. I will add you. I think you ping me on Skype, right? So team, if you're a JPAC member or if you're an ITLN member, if you want to be part of any of these groups, then please add me in your Skype account. Okay. And I will put you there. Or very simple, join this group of new members. Okay. From here, I will move you there. Is that clear, team? I'm trying to keep everything very well organized in Skype. That is where I will be most of the time. You want help? You're really serious about what you want? Help yourself from here. Okay. From now, please do not let these questions come a lot to us as to what is happening. I've been explaining the same. I'm going to structure all of this together into a proper neat documentation. And by Monday, before I start the day 6, I will send it. Okay. So I hope you will be able to help yourself with the next steps, team, because unfortunately, the way I look at it is if you cannot help yourself with the instructions that are provided here, I don't think you will survive in IT industry. And I really feel that a lot of us should not waste time and money trying to get into it. It is absolutely not possible. But if you are someone who's willing to take instructions from me in the whatever possible way and learn and execute things one by one, you're absolutely fine. Okay, that is the only way it will work, team. If you just want to learn topics, please, you can learn it from Udemy and YouTube and all that. You want to be part of this program, you have to follow my instructions. Can I get that commitment from everyone, please? And I will go very patiently. Is core Java knowledge enough to do your Java project? Yes, even if you have basics of core Java, that is enough. Whatever I will teach next week in the Selenium live training on Java will be sufficient to be part of the Java project. I will talk more about Java project later. Chaitanya, okay, there's one question here. I already registered for live training and also paid for the current session, but I do not get any email saying I've registered. How long should I wait to get Monday's session? Go to live link. Okay. Once again, audience, please listen to me. I am totally busy with what's happening. A lot of students coming in. That's why I kept these sessions free. You are here. That means you know what is happening. I will not give more information than that to you, team. There will be one link for Monday. I will send it by the weekend. Pick it up and use it. Okay. No more questions, hopefully, on that. Is it Java live project? See, endless. You know what? Let's get to the topic. And for those of you who are unable to help, who need a lot of hand holding, please join this group. For new members, I will take you from there. Anyone who's new has all these questions. I'm having this issue, that issue. Please join this group on Skype. Okay, that's the only solution I have, team. This will be the group for you to join. All right, great. So, team, I'm good with most of the questions that I have, and I'll get going. Pankaja, can you take away the questions on Swagger, API, ACT, and all to little later? It is absolutely not relevant here, right? And that is where don't deviate me, please. Yes, Anthony, you want to talk about email issue? Why don't you call me after the session? We'll talk about it. What is it? And I want you to explain to me correctly. Don't say email is not working. Tell me what is happening. And okay. All right, team. let's get going. I've spent a lot of time, almost 1 hour, just addressing these, but these were important things, team, that I had to do. Are we good, everyone? Can we take a quick look at where we are? At least let's do the JUnit and a little bit of Selenium WebDriver. Okay. And I want all questions related to the topics from now on. Yes, I did ask questions on admin related, whatever. Hopefully, we will start resolving all of them. There is a list of all open tickets. Okay, let me also open that in the meanwhile. All right, team, shall we get started then? Let's continue with the day 5 of the topics, main topics. And I want to talk about where we are, what we did yesterday. So, team, Eclipse. I've just opened up Eclipse. My welcome screen is here. I'm going to close this. Have I started the recording? Yes. Now, here is where we have started to write our programs. Which is R1 team? SLT November PRJ1 or SWD1? Selection is here. These two files are open and it can be confusing for anyone. So please always expand and see which is the one. Okay. So this is the first one that we created. There's nothing from here that we're using. These files are out here, team. So do not be confused about what is opening and what is seen here. Put your patience, put your eyes on the right place as to where is what, and ensure you click on them, team. So do not trust the ones which are already open. And I would strongly suggest keep closing them and reopen. Okay. And my first test is here and my second test is here. These are the two tests that we created. What are these tests, team, that we did? Let's take a very quick look. We went to File, New, Java Project, and I wrote here SWD1, and we got this entire thing created. After we created this Java project in the source, I right clicked, I said new, let's create a class. So like I have my second test, I'll just call this as third test. Okay. And I could either put a main method in it or not necessary. It could just be, but there's nothing to execute here. Okay. No main method. Let's look at our first test, team. What is it that we did? There are a few keywords that I said as we go along, we will capture and learn. But at the beginning, ignore them. For example, what is public or private? What is a class? What is void? Or if it returns something, keep them for later. We spoke briefly about comments and the fact that we use comments to either say, hey, you know what, this code I don't want to run, or I want to put a comment about what that code is all about or a change that we did. Very rightly, elegantly, we must use comments, team. I did emphasize also on how we need to maintain correct tabs as we write more and more code. I will talk about it. We haven't come to the naming conventions for variables and so on. That's something we'll also start focusing. Now, this code, when I execute, it primarily has these 5 steps that it wants to do. And these are all print statements, and it's going to quickly print them out onto, oh, I have nothing in my third test, but it said that, can we save it before? I said, fine. And this has printed out from my first test. This is the one that we created. How about my second test.java? Much more cleaner, simpler, because I deleted those comments. This is how the code would look otherwise. And if I run this code, what happened? So sometimes it does not know which one it is running. Whenever you have a question, you have multiple tabs open, team. Click on the test, double click or right click on it, go down and you can see run as and say Java application. All right. Does not contain a matching main type. It doesn't have a main. My third test doesn't have a main. Why this has a main method, right? Launch error. First test is running. Yeah. Second test, it won't run. Okay, no problem. How's my third test? Nothing much in here. If I have to create something in here, what is it that we do? We do public static void main. Okay, and we put a string of arguments into it. String args. Okay, what are the string of arguments? In fact, for our Selenium world, we don't have to go beyond. We are not going to pass anything into here. We're going to just focus on this. What is it that we eventually want to do, team? We want to do automation testing, correct? Now, in the world of automation testing, I have test cases to run. I may have test case one, and may have test case two. What is it my test case one do? Maybe very similar. There are a few shortcuts, team, that I'll show you later. For example, for print statement, I write syso, use control and space bar, and it gives me this option, and I hit enter. So it takes me till there. And I'll say this is TC1, Swiggy. What is it? Login. And let's say this is my test case 2, TC2, Swiggy login. Now, team, anytime we want to be able to execute this test, all that I need to do is be able to know what am I going to do at what point and rightly start organizing them. This is not login, this is sign up, sorry. We wrote a few tests, remember? Now our intent will be to try and run this test, team. What are the steps that we have? Can we think about them and put them here? At least the ones we know. The first step, maybe I'll put it here, was to open Chrome, go to application and test swiggy.com, whatever we're using, click login, enter phone, correct? Then enter password, click sign in. Then confirm that we have signed in. Now this is your test that we wrote manually, and we stored that into our Google Drive, team. Huh. So, and what we also did is we recorded them in Selenium IDE. Now for me, how do I run those tests here? The things that are important to do, team, is to get the basic understanding of Selenium WebDriver code and the 4-5 steps that are involved. Let me see if I can quickly get an access to a quick WebDriver code and how we do it. Let's start running that code first. And from there, it'll be pretty much easy for you. Where do I write here? Define. In my code, let me see if I can pick up the basic ones so I can walk you through. These are the steps that we have, and how do we write that? Anything from previous batch? I'm just quickly checking, team. One second. I'm showing you. There's so many things that I put in this last batch, September batch, that I just want to make sure that data-driven framework, target, hybrid framework, maybe here. Just Excel's. Switch workspace. June. Nothing is there in June. So team, I'm downloading the Selenium jar file, that is the main server file, which has all the WebDriver commands. And now I don't know if I need JUnit yet. I'll just download that also. JUnit jar download. Chrome browser driver is required. Is the other one. Download JUnit jar. I'm going to show this at length again, team. I just want to get things started and set up. Just a few downloads. I'm doing fresh. There's JUnit 1 was here. Chrome driver for Windows. 32 is fine. It'll work for both. I'm downloading and setting up everything, team. And I'm going to walk you through what all I'm downloading. JUnit, Chrome driver. Is JUnit didn't download? Oh, okay, there you go. Jar. Keep. Now let's open the folder. I have these 3 files. I'm going to copy them. And put them here. Unzip anything that is there, team, and just get the basic structure. And there we go. So that's Chrome driver. This is JUnit. So drivers and jars. Chrome drivers here. JUnit. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to Eclipse. Do I need Hamcrest jar? I'm not sure. If it throws an error, then we'll get that also, team. Because just letting you know, the jars that we deploy into our projects, right? There are about 55, 60 jars, team. Automatically, we have to put it in there. Okay, so Selenium server standalone is here. Oh, things here. Good. Now, team. In this test, what is important for me is to be able to start doing automation. So let me leave this as it, start a new project. Okay. And Selenium WebDriver 2, I'm going to call this. Finish. New projects, old one, I'll just kind of minimize it. I don't need this. Okay. For now, I'll just close it. In SWDT source, right click new Java class. And let's call this as, I've already called it as first test, right? TC1. Okay. Public static void main, finish. In this test, what I want to do is be able to test if we are able to log in. The couple of commands that we need to do, team, to be able to connect are here. Even I wouldn't remember because once I put it here, that's all we're going to be looking into. Where is it? Ding, ding, ding. Is this the one? There you go. Ding, ding. Eclipse. I'll be so happy if I don't have to switch back from Eclipse to anything else. Now, team. Okay. The command that we want to do is to be able to say where my path to the Chrome driver is, and it is not here. It is in the location where we downloaded here. So I can right click on it, properties. If I want to get the path to this file, I can go to security and copy this entire thing on the object name. So it will give you the entire path. You can get it and put it up here. Once again, team, the way we will do it is right click on the file, go to properties, security, and under security, you will be able to go to the get the object name and put it there. All right. That's the first thing that I've done, team. Now, what is important is for Selenium to be able to understand what is where and so on. Before that, this seems to be a red underline in here. Why is it? Anytime you see the issue like we saw yesterday, team, where we have this kind of a thing, it is basically a syntax error. It is not able to even understand what you wrote to a certain extent. It may give you recommendations with mouse over or not, but basically it is for us to be able to fix the syntax error. And in this case, the only main issue, team, is what is it this is trying to do. This step is basically saying that, listen, to run tests for Selenium WebDriver on Chrome, we need a jar, the Chrome driver jar. So where is that jar? The name for the jar is this, and the path is here. And we are calling this as system set property. So a property called webdriver.chrome.driver, whenever that is wanted, it will bring this. So this is a standard statement that you will see, team. The challenge in here, team, is whenever you see a backslash in the path, it is used for escape characters. So always use two of them, or you can use one /, and that will take care of the path issue. So now we have this statement and here. Now, what about this thing called WebDriver driver equals new Chrome driver? Very simple, team. Anything that we see from Selenium that it needs to work on the browsers, it'll first call it as a WebDriver. Now, WebDriver is called like a super class. Okay. Now, for Chrome, there is a Chrome driver. For Firefox, there is a Gecko driver. For IE, there is another IE driver. For Mozilla, not Mozilla, for Edge, there is one more. Each of these are driver jar files. What is it? Selenium has to talk to the application under test. That is what it has to do. To be able to talk to it, it does not know which browser that application is. WebDriver basically controls all the commands in general, but for Chrome, there's specific changes, configurations. For Firefox, they're different. For IE, they're different. So each browser has its configuration setup. That is what we did out here, saying that, hey, my Chrome driver is here, the exe file. This is the Selenium WebDriver that we need to first add, team, and Chrome driver. How do we do this? Erase all drawings. On your project, right click on it, go to properties, and you will then click on Java build path. So team, yesterday I briefly spoke to you about jar and the concept of what is this Java archived resource. These jar files are distributed by a lot of contributors. Could be private. We could create our own jar that could run somewhere. The whole purpose of it, it has a library that we could use, team. A library of commands that we can control. So Java comes with its own system library that is standard to run some basic tests. Anything additional, we have to add them. Now, we got the Selenium server standalone out here, team, into our drivers and jars downloaded. Now, what I will do is, where did I go? Erase all drawings, right click on the project, go to properties, Java build path, libraries, add external jars, C drive, where am I here? Drivers and jars, Selenium server standalone, there you go, open, apply. Okay, now what happens, team? Basically, actually I should not have done this. Can I remove it once if you don't mind? Right click properties, remove. Okay, so this is how it was before I added anything, team. Okay, the code as is, I only wrote this line of code. Here, if I take my mouse over, seems to be another issue. It says Chrome driver cannot be resolved to a type. It basically says, I don't know what is Chrome driver. Did you mean it's a class? Do you want to create a class? I don't understand what is Chrome driver. That is what Java is telling us. How about this line? WebDriver cannot be resolved to a type. Create class, create this, create this. It's saying, hey, I don't know what is WebDriver. That is its problem. Why doesn't Java know this WebDriver commands? Because I want those Selenium jar files to be associated. So I go to the Java build path and libraries, add external jars, Selenium server standalone, open. You can say apply or okay should be fine. And now do you see, team, there is this JRE system library, which is there earlier. We saw this yesterday. Nothing important for us to look deeper than this. Now comes a reference library. See, I have Selenium server standalone. In this, there are so many things that are returned, team. There are a lot of things. Wow. Now, is it something for us to go in and take a look at it? Nah, we've got to use them. We've got to be experts at using them. Now, let's see if there's any difference. Do you see the message that is showing up now, team? There is an option called import. Why suddenly does it show that? And that specifically, team, is how we will start adding more and more jars and start working with them. So now all that I have to do is go to this, take my mouse over and say import Chrome driver. And it would add one statement above. The next one, import WebDriver. What is it that these import commands do, team? Whenever we add a jar library to our project, it will be able to go and access those library commands and related ones. So it goes to com, open Q8, finds where are all these commands for WebDriver or Chrome driver. Now I can start working on it accordingly. So at this point in time, this becomes the name of my driver. So I'll just call this as my driver. I can change it to whatever. I will explain everything, team. I've not even come to variables or objects, so we will talk about it. If I say my driver dot, I would now see all the different commands that are available for that specific my driver. From now, team, this word called my driver in this program will become your access point to the application. And the first one I want to do is maybe navigate or go to that URL. So dot navigate is there. Dot, this is a long one actually. To, what if I say any website? I'll just take it. And that's it. Now, I don't even know if it'll work. I don't even know if that is a command, but you have to get these few steps going before you move on to the next one, team. The other thing that you need to know is we'll only be practicing on Chrome for a long, much more stable. Then we will experiment few other browsers. I'm going to run this, team, and see what happens. Do you see a browser getting opened and Chrome is being controlled by automated test software? And now it did also take me to this application. So if I need to now go to, let us say, what was that Swiggy thing we had? Swiggy.com, right? I can just change it here and say Swiggy.com. All right. And we are all set. Saved, and it should navigate. Now on Swiggy.com, what is it that I want to do? I want to click on this link called sign login, right? So now what I do on my driver, I say dot find element by dot. I'll use link text team, and the link text is login dot click, and that would become my click command on it. Hopefully, I don't know why you got to write the code, you got to run the code. I'm going to always save it, team. I don't like to keep saving it each time. So I check that box. Now, if you notice, the old ones are there as is, they're not even closed. Did it click on login, team? Perfect. Now, what else do I want to do? I want to do a few statements like this. But in this case, my by will change to by dot maybe ID will work, correct? And what is the ID for phone number? Inspect. Hello, inspect. The ID is mobile. There you go. So I'll just write the word called mobile in quotes. Dot. What is it that I want to do? I want to send keys into it. Or is there a type command? No, there's only send keys. Dot send keys, and I want to send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7. And end of double quotes. Now, if automation is so easy, then, and we are already here, then what next, team? I think it is easy. It is not tough. It is just doing consistently defect-free scripting. And now I've quickly added a few more steps, team, and let us see. And this is where I think you got to see, hey, I've done the same thing in Selenium IDE, and I'm doing exactly the same thing in Eclipse using Selenium WebDriver. What is the big difference in it? Yes, team, and that's where things will start. Now, for us to be able to build a data-driven framework or a keyword-driven framework and so on will be fairly easy to start going. There is no complexity in coding, team. This becomes your standard script. Now, this is great. What is it with JUnit that we want to do? See, I have one test running like this, correct? Now, see the interesting part of JUnit. So I'll right click on SRC. I'll say new, another Java class. Okay. I'll say TC1, but TC1 JUnit. All right, just a name that I'm giving. I'll copy everything from here, team, almost, and I'll put it there. And team, did you notice a new import also got added called by when I said? The only commands, 3 or 4 commands that are there, team. That's it. My driver navigate, maximize, close, quit. My driver find element, click on it, send keys. That's about it. There's nothing more than this. It is just how applications make it tough for us. Now, team, always remember when we're doing the programming, your test name, or sorry, your class name that you give, whatever .java, should be the same name here, team, of your main method. Okay. So in this TC1 JUnit, when I change this name here, I did not update it here. So you would definitely have to do it here too. Right. And now that's matching. Now, what is it that I want to do here, team? The typical perspective of any testing that we do is we want to prepare test, I want to run test, and then I want to clean up after a test. Think of it like a medical test where, even if we have, one of the nurse has to take a blood test, they have to prepare all the bottles for it and get it wherever they're going to put the needle, swab, clean with alcohol and all that. Then do the test, actually take it out, and then do the cleanup, put the bandage for you, get you back in shape. Now, for everyone, every test, there's certain things that are common. Now, what is it that I want to do in preparation of test? Hey, you know what? Every time I'll go to Swiggy only, so I'll take these 3 statements and I'll put it under prepare test. I'm trying to slowly organize things now, team, where My Chrome driver is here. Launch the Chrome driver, which is the a browser like this, which says Chrome is being controlled by automated test software, and navigate to swiggy.com, right? And what is the test that I'm running? I'm running the test out here. And what is the cleanup that I want to do, team? I want to close or quit this. My driver dot quit. Oops. I think first let's try and close. And can I also do a quit? So when I run this test, it is still not JUnit test. It is just how does it execute? It just will perform all the steps quickly and will close and get out. Team, hardly any time for this, but I'll show you how a JUnit script looks, team. New class TC1 JUnit. Oops, 2. Okay. Again, I'm going to copy this overall thing. I'll put it here. Not now, actually. I'll do it like this. The first thing is called add before, add test, add after. Okay. Whatever I write here are functions called public. My before and a block here. This is how a JUnit code will look, team. All right. It will have something called as annotations. Add before, add test, add after are the main things. Annotations basically tell us what is it that we want to do first, next, and so on. Add before basically get executed before each test. Add after will get executed after each test. Now, by default, your JUnit library may not be available, so it won't recognize before and so on. What we'll have to do is right click on the project, go to properties, Java build path. We already got a Selenium server standalone. That's why our WebDriver commands, everything were recognized. Now I need to get another external jars and I have the JUnit version and I'm going to use this. Say okay. Now when I take my mouse over before, it says, hey, I have it in here. You imported this. Sure, use that. And sure, use this. Sure, use this. Now, if I just write a simple statement like before, okay, come on. And this is, let's say, my test. This is test 1. Okay, I'll call this test 1 team. And this is after. Now, when I execute this, what you need to focus is what the print console comes out here. There's an issue here because I missed a double quote. I'll quickly put it back. And team, this is the introduction to this code. Monday, Tuesday, we'll spend a lot of time writing a lot of these. Okay. When I execute this, you will see now see run as JUnit or test NGS come. I will run it as JUnit test. If you notice the most important thing, team, there is no main class anymore. There's no main method and it does not require a main method. It just knows what it wants to do before, during the test and after. Now, what is this issue? Oh, Hamcrest. I think I need to get the Hamcrest. No. It recognized everything. This could be copy trace. Onion package Java build path delivers delivery button side. I did. Hamcrest jar. Let's search for Hamcrest jar. I think we required that also. That's why this is not working by itself. 1.3 is fine. It was the latest one. When you will be doing it, team, you will be also doing exactly the same. So watch this video while you're practicing and doing. I only got a few jar files. It's not too complicated. And I have this. Let me add that to the Java build path and see what happens. Right click, properties, Java build path. I have JUnit and this. And let's rerun. There you go. So now comes a beautiful report. When we run a regular Java command code, team, you wouldn't see something called test coming up or a timer also talking about it. But yes, it does print, it does do exactly like this. So if I have one test, it would say that before that specific test, I will do this. And after the specific test, I will do this. Now notice when I change this, team, my before test, my after test is the same, but I have two tests. When I ran it earlier, I got three print statements. When I run it this time, how many would I get? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. But we will get 16. I'm just short of time, so I'm quickly trying to run it for now. You get 6 statements, and each one is basically pointing to the fact that, wow, you know what? Mm, Something has to be done before each test, something has to be done after each test. The way the execution will happen is very simple, team. First, it will come here to the at test. Is it a test that I have to execute? Yes. So first, execute this, then do this, then execute my after test. Then it comes to the next test. It's a test. So first execute this, then execute the test, then execute after. So this after and before become common for any test. Now you can think about that I will do something like launch here. Erase all drawing. Okay. Now see how beautiful it will become suddenly, team. This is your TC1 JUnit. I'm gonna copy this and paste it. Yeah, okay. JUnit 3 is fine. Cool. And from my, where was the SWD code? Here. Here. This becomes my before the test. Okay. Now in my main test one, this is what I will do. Main test 2, I'll do the same, but I will enter different numbers. And in the after, what I will do is I'll close and I'll quit. Now should come the fun. Oh, okay. The only thing I have to do, team, is make this move out of it so it's easily accessible. So the definition here and remove it from here. And where else there's an issue? Okay, a quote is missing at the end, so I'm going to cover that too. And there we go. Save this. TC1, see, it's pointing at TC1. You never know which one, team. Did I save it here? Where is JUnit 3 then? Okay. We did it the other way. But that's fine. Here is my test. Now look at what happens, team. If I run TC1 JUnit 3, first of all, as is, right click, run as a JUnit test. It will give you 6 statements: before test 1 after, before test 2 after. And now I'm going to run the same with these. What do I want it to do? First, open a browser, Chrome, go to swiggy.com. First test, do these 3 things. Second test, do these 3. But each time we will close it. And again, it will open. Let's see if we run this, how it runs. And team, right after this, I'm going to end. And like I mentioned, I will be sharing the details over the weekend for you to get started by Monday. I have an extremely tight schedule for the next few hours, team. There's some of the members who mentioned me to call them back. I did share my number too. So please look at what's convenient and do things accordingly. Don't we okay? So someone mentioned, I'm sorry, couldn't even take that number. Yeah, I see that. Srinivas. I'm going to take your number, Srinivas. Anyone else wants me to call you back? Then you have to give me a number, please. 6. Did it do anything, team? I didn't even observe. Did it run the test? 0 seconds. What? What test are you running? Now, this one, TC2, run as JUnit test. Now, let's see. There's my before. And this will be pretty interesting for you to look at. Team, that's about it from my side. It is running the test right now. It's finished the first test. It's closed it. It's starting the second test. That's it. All done. Run 2 of 2. 26.87 seconds in total. No errors. The first test took 15.29 seconds. The second took 15.71 seconds. And that's a complete test. And this is the beginning to it. Where do we go from here? We will parameterize everything. We will run the test with different sets of data. We will write more complicated tests. We will use conditions. We will do reporting. We will talk about how we write frameworks. How do we really deploy it in real worlds? What are the challenges that we will face? How to create methods, how to write for loops, if loops, which case statements, all these now. This is primarily, I believe, what you need for the first 5 sessions to get started into anything with Selenium team. Any final set of questions, please, that I could take regarding sessions that we've done so far, and any questions for what next? Regarding the live trainings and so on, what's going to happen and so on, team. Take your weekend. You'll get all information. Monday morning, be ready to be part of this. Okay. It'll be a new link. Anthony, I'll take your number too. So team, I'll see you all back on Monday. The video will be up in a few hours. Thank you so much. Take care then. I'll just take this number. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Bye now. Thank you.